Nobody saw this coming back like this. People expected the rumor to die quietly, fade into the archive of internet madness, maybe resurface years later as some dusty conspiracy thread. But that's not what happened. This time, it didn't creep in through the back door. It kicked the door down. In less than 48 hours, a DNA rumor involving Meghan Markle and her children went from quiet murmurs to an all-out global explosion. Not just the UK, not just America. Europe lit up, Australia jumped in, South America caught fire. Everywhere. All at once. And what made this different, what made it dangerous, was that this wasn't about outfits, interviews, or petty royal drama. This went straight for the one thing Meghan has fought harder to protect than anything else: the identity and legitimacy of her children, Archie Mountbatten-Windsor and Lilibet Mountbatten-Windsor. And here's what shocked people the most. This rumor didn't start the usual way. No viral tweet, no tabloid splash, no clout-chasing blogger throwing spaghetti at the wall. It started with a document, a blurry screenshot. Unverified, yes, but chillingly precise. It was allegedly circulating inside a private group dedicated to royal analysis. Not a gossip forum, not a fan page. The kind of space where palace-related material has quietly surfaced before the mainstream press ever dared touch it. And buried inside that document was a single line that changed everything. Prepare for increased inquiry regarding lineage integrity narratives. That wasn't internet slang. That wasn't gossip language. That was institutional wording. Cold, measured, legal sounding, and once people saw it, they felt it in their gut. While Montecito was reportedly melting down, something very different was happening across the Atlantic. Nothing. No scrambling, no emergency meetings, no frantic palace statements, just silence, calm, calculated, almost eerie. One insider summed it up in a sentence that said more than 1,000 press releases ever could. Nobody here is shocked. These rumors always come back. And that's the part people don't like to hear. According to palace sources, DNA chatter around the Sussex children has floated quietly for years. Not because the palace believes it, but because of how everything was handled, the gaps, the inconsistencies, the choices, all of it created the perfect environment for doubt to grow roots. And here's the brutal truth. The palace doesn't see this as their problem. From their perspective, Harry and Meghan chose independence. They rejected royal protection. They wanted total control of their narrative. And with that choice came consequences. So the palace will not step in. Not now, not later, not ever. No statement. No clarifications, no quiet cleanups. That silence isn't accidental, it's strategic. Because every day the palace says nothing, the rumor gets louder, and the Sussexes are left fighting the fire alone. Exactly the way the palace believes they wanted it. And no, this didn't appear out of thin air. This story was built slowly, brick by brick, over years. Go back to Archie's birth. The palace announced Meghan was in labor. Then suddenly announced the baby had already been born hours earlier. Reporters were blindsided. Staff were confused. Veteran royal correspondents openly called it a communication disaster. Then came the birth certificate, quietly altered, Meghan's name removed, replaced with her title. Blame bounced around. Explanations shifted. No version ever fully stuck. Then the hospital photo tradition skipped entirely. Meghan called it intrusive and outdated, and fair enough, but that tradition exists for one reason: transparency, and when it disappeared, certainty disappeared with it. Then came the christenings. No public confirmation, no official church photos, no clear details, just silence. Add to that conflicting pregnancy details shared across interviews, documentaries, and podcasts, timelines that didn't quite line up, statements that subtly contradicted each other, not proof, but pattern. And when patterns repeat long enough, people stop dismissing them. That's Meghan's real problem now, not the rumor itself, but the history behind it. Because when a new spark lands, it doesn't hit clean ground. It lands on years of unanswered questions, and that's why this fire keeps coming back. Here's where people get it wrong. DNA rumors aren't just messy gossip when royalty is involved. They're not jokes, they're not petty drama, they carry legal weight. Meghan knows that. Royal titles aren't guaranteed forever, they're conditional. Archie and Lilibet only received their prince and princess titles after King Charles took the throne, and those titles rest on one thing: verified royal lineage. If that lineage is ever questioned by a serious authority, a court, a government body, a formal inquiry, those titles can be paused or reviewed. That's not new. It's not personal. It's written into royal protocol. The same goes for the line of succession. That list isn't symbolic. It's a legal document backed by centuries of precedent. Even the perception of uncertainty can trigger scrutiny, and that's the nightmare scenario. Not because the rumor is true, but because once legal eyes get involved, PR teams lose control. Netflix deals don't matter, statements don't matter, emotions don't matter. That's why this rumor scared Meghan more than anything she's faced in years. This is the one storyline that doesn't stay in the gossip lane, and here's the key detail. The rumor didn't claim proof. It claimed interest. Interest from journalists, interest in documents, interest in birth records, christenings, titles. And once people believed someone might be looking, the floodgates opened. Old questions rushed back, questions that were never fully answered the first time. By the time Meghan's team even started drafting a response, the narrative was already out of their hands. Because once the world believes something is being investigated, it stops asking if and starts asking why. And there's another reason this didn't fade: control. American media tiptoes. British media is legally cautious. But foreign media, they don't play by Meghan's rules. Once this crossed borders, containment was impossible. Morning shows debated it. European outlets framed it as a legitimacy issue. Australian media openly questioned timelines. Suddenly, this wasn't about rumor, it was about structure, protocol, and consequences. And then came the timing. While the internet burned, chaos reportedly erupted inside Montecito. Insiders say the moment Meghan saw DNA investigation trending globally, she snapped. Not confusion, not disbelief, rage, shouting, accusations flying. Her first instinct wasn't denial, it was blame. Phones rang non-stop. PR teams went into emergency mode. She demanded statements, names, control immediately. But control was already gone. Prince Harry's reaction couldn't have been more different. While Meghan spiraled, Harry shut down. No yelling, no drama, just exhaustion. People close to him say he looked frozen, like someone watching a crash he knew he couldn't stop. He reportedly tried to calm her, saying, "It'll fade, it always fades." That did not go over well. Meghan allegedly snapped back, accusing him of being passive, of not defending hard enough, of letting this grow for years. The argument escalated. Harry retreated. Meghan pushed harder. And in that moment, the cracks showed. This wasn't just a media crisis. It was a marriage under pressure, reacting to the same fire in completely different ways. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. This rumor may quiet down, but it's not disappearing, because the real issue isn't DNA, it's trust. For years, Meghan controlled every detail of her story, carefully curated, polished, selective, and that worked, until it didn't. Because when people feel managed instead of informed, they start wondering what they're not being told. The palace has chosen silence. They will not rescue the Sussexes. They see this as the price of independence, and the children. That's the tragedy. Archie and Lilibet should have symbolized a fresh start. Instead, they're tied to a controversy that may follow them for life, not because of who they are, but because of how their story was handled. Three paths remain. The story fades, then returns stronger. A foreign journalist digs deeper, or Meghan is forced to address it directly, something she's avoided at all costs. No matter what happens, this rumor is now part of her legacy, not because it's proven, but because the past made it believable, and that's why this story isn't going anywhere.